Hello, everybody. I am absolutely stoked to be able to share with you my Crucial Conversations initiative that's starting this week. This is a little teaser just to get you excited. I'm going to ask you to join me on this wonderful 13-week journey where I will be sharing some inspirational, sometimes thought-provoking, factual, visionary, and really relevant conversations with my fabulous friends, super inspiring individuals, as well as experts in their field, really influential human beings that sharing with me why we have to keep faith for 2021. We will both unpack unprecedented, yes, and I know this word has been overused, but really unprecedented challenges that we have faced in 2020 and all the unexpected and really cool opportunities that COVID-19 brought for us, whether it was from a personal perspective or a business perspective. 2020 was hard, but we are not yet on the other side. 2021 is going to be harder still. So there is hope, and there is, of course, much left for us to do. And what I really want to bring out is all the lessons that was learned, that we can discuss this and we can share the success stories as we look back to 2021, but also really focus on what is cool and what is new and where we can find inspiration in the stories shared by other people that have really gone through similar things that you and I have gone through. Don't miss it. This is going to be especially valuable for people that are small, medium-sized enterprise owners, people that are entrepreneurs, or just if you've had a tough time and you're really looking for inspiration in the new year. So some of the COVID-focused topics that we will be focused on and what we'll be discussing during our Crucial COVID Conversations is conservation. How to make sustainable choices from an individual perspective, from an operator perspective, from a company perspective. It's really going to be the new norm. So what can you do? We're going to be listening to some cool stories from my friends and what they are doing and how they're inspiring us to really look after planet ocean much better on the other side of all of this. I'm going to be focusing on a little bit of living in the now, how to truly relax, and bringing in some meditation and perhaps some yoga practices into play. We all know that mental health and well-being has been ignored for such a long time, and it came back to an amazing forefront during COVID-19, and we are still experiencing the after effects of that. So how are we incorporating those mental health and wellness practices into our businesses? When we're working from home, we're going to be talking about things like COVID blues, anxiety, depression, and just being kind to your mind and being kind to others during this time, and also really using that as the basis on the formation for this new year lying ahead for us. Seeing perspective. I did an amazing podcast a few months ago in the midst of the crisis, where I really highlighted for small, medium-sized enterprises in the Pacific the 10 Ps, the different things that we need to remember to help us navigate from a business perspective through this COVID-19 storm. And one of the key Ps, Ps, not peas in a pot, Ps, as in the letter P, was seeing and finding perspective. That big picture thinking mentality. And yes, there is a big picture here. It is sometimes hard when we're in the midst of it, right now. But I'm really asking some cool people, what are they doing to help them see perspective? How are they tackling this challenge? I'm also going to be talking about how do you diversify yourself, your business. The time really is now. So what are you doing? I'm going to share some cool stories about how I have had to reinvent many times this last year myself, as well as my businesses, to try and find new opportunities. So how do you do that? Where do you start? If you're really interested in learning more, of course, I can also do some one-on-one sessions with you. But the key of these COVID conversations is giving you pieces of information to stay focused and stay positive, to help us through this year. I'm also going to be talking a little bit about COVID readiness. This is where we start unpacking a few more practical business tools, incorporating business and strategic planning. What does your strategic plan look like? Did you do a strat on a page, like I call it, for your business that's specifically focused on this COVID-19 crisis? And if not, you should. And also looking at some leadership development practices and how do you need to adjust during this crisis to look at your leaders and develop them in a different way. I'm also going to be talking a little bit about, well, I'm not going to be talking, I'm going to ask my friends to talk about what are they doing to keep creative and have this go-get attitude, and how do they keep their positivity. We all need it sometimes, and I know for me personally, it has been spectacularly hard during 2020 to stay positive, and I'm definitely a glass half full person, but even for me it's been hard. So I'm going to unpack that a little bit further and talk to amazing, inspiring people that you cannot help being impressed and inspired and completely fall in love with them because they're just so energizing. We're also going to talk a little bit more about being prepared. So by the way, this is one of my other P's as well. How do you incorporate business continuity into, well, just the basics of it? How do you incorporate that into crisis management, crisis leadership, and being aware of the risks for your business, perhaps even for you personally, and how do you mitigate that during a year that is going to be particularly challenging as well? It will be better, but it will still be challenging. Something that is so close to my heart, and I'm always inspired by people that live their passion. What is it that they do? How are they able to take their passion, internalize it, and bring it to fruition and really make a business, make a life, be successful by following their heart and their passion? Really such a cool concept, and I think it could really bring us such hope and inspiration during this new year, but also still focusing on what we are bringing over to this new year from our terrible COVID year. Always finding hope and inspiration. I feel so strong about that because I think if we still have hope and we are still inspired and we still can see the silver lining, it is who you are, it's your attitude, it's your outlook on life. It's not easy. Oh, for heaven's sake, it's not easy. It certainly wasn't easy for me last year, and you have to just keep that specific outlook on life, and you have to just keep on focusing on that. To round off our crucial COVID conversations, I'm also going to talk about some other P's, being persistent, being patient, never giving up. It's always easy to start losing hope and faith and give up when you're this close to the outcome and this close. You may not know it at the time, but you're so close. Giving up is not an option because you could be a few hours, a few months away from just reaching that goal. There's always options, there's always possibilities, and there is always solutions. You just have to look. If you stop looking, you won't find them. And then one of the last crucial COVID conversations that I would like to have with some friends of mine is really learning the value of people, partnerships, connections. We really are in this together, and when we start valuing people, we start engaging, we talk, we communicate, and we form partnerships, and we really share common fears and aspirations. It starts looking better already, and this is really the reason for me having these 12 weeks of crucial COVID conversations with many of my friends, many people that I've met recently through crisis, and many other people that I have known for many, many years. And anybody else that wants to join, of course, you're welcome to share your stories with me. I'll be happy to bring them into the discussion as well. But in essence, this is about helping us get through the next year with positivity, passion, and partnerships. Looking forward to see you soon.